exhale bends the air between us, a slow invisible tide drawing every loose thought in the room toward you. Pencils rolling slightly on the table, curtain edges trembling, even the small flame of the candle leaning closer as if it needs to hear what you are not quite saying. And my pulse sinks to that quiet pull, each beat a step down a staircase carved from smoke, leading into the center of your almost smile, where the music waits unhurried, built from a lazy brush rhythm and a bass line that walks like it has nowhere important to be, just wandering circles around your silhouette. And the guitar answers with soft descending phrases that feel like the last golden leaves slipping from a tree, reluctant but resigned, making way for something colder, clearer, yet somehow welcome. And my voice slides in on its side, half breath, half note, tracing the curve of your jaw and sound alone, promising nothing but the truth of this exact second, when gravity is not about mass or distance, but about how intensely my attention falls into your breathing, how impossible it is to look anywhere else. And when you finally glance up and catch me staring, the room tips a few degrees, the candle flickers into a taller flame, and the track opens into a wider harmony, synth pads blooming like light through frosted glass, before everything narrows again, returning to the gentle orbit of your next exhale. The silence stands perfectly still between us, a flat, calm surface stretched from your gaze to mine, smooth enough to walk across without making a sound. But somewhere behind the second or third unspoken thought, a tiny rhythm begins, tapping on its underside, a tentative pulse that makes the quiet tremble almost imperceptibly. And then the guitar leans in with a muted chord, barely there, like a pebble dropped into a lake at midnight, sending ripples through the hush, and the brush drums answer with a gentle heartbeat that turns stillness into something you could almost dance to. If you closed your eyes and forgot how serious you meant to be tonight, and my voice rises out of that shifting quiet like a low fog lifting from low fog. Not breaking the spell, but giving it shape, tracing outlines of all the things we might confess if we trusted our tongues as much as we trust our shared glances. And your hand resting on the table starts marking time with the softest motion, a fingertip traveling an inch forward, then back, as if measuring the distance every theme without raising the volume at all.
Raindrops trace slow constellations on the window pane, each one catching the reflection of the street lights outside, until they look like tiny embers clinging to the glass, reluctant to slide down. And your reflection weaves between them, a shifting collage of eyes and lips, and the edge of your shoulder, sometimes lined in amber, sometimes disappearing completely when the darkness leans closer, and the music settles into that same uncertain rhythm. The brush drums barely more than fingertips on paper, the bass humming a single note that sways forward and back like a candle watched too long, and the guitar picks out a melody that feels half remembered. Like a song you heard as a child through a crack in a door, associated forever with a warmth you could feel but not explain. And now my voice threads itself through those scattered lights, whispering questions I already know the answers to, just to hear how they sound flown between us, how they glow for a second before cooling into ordinary language. And you answer mostly with a tilt of your head, the way your hand rises to meet the glass, almost touching the path of a raindrop as it finally lets go. Finally fall, and that tiny surrender sends a shiver through the harmony, a small lift in the chords, as if acknowledging that even the softest ember cannot cling forever, that at some point even the gentlest night must decide which memories to keep and which to let slide quietly into the dark.
The room even starts a low tender noise made of refrigerator motors. Streetlight buzz, neighbors' muffled televisions, all woven together into a fragile cushion for whatever we are afraid to say. And when the first chord spills from the guitar, it does not interrupt that texture, just slips inside it like a new shade of warmth, wrapping itself around the soft air nocturnal thrum from the corner where a small synth blinks sleepy lights, and your body finds its own slot in that sound. The way your ankle crosses over the other, the way your sleeve brushes against the chair. Tiny rhythms that keep time with the brush snare, tapping under your ribs, and my voice drifting just above our heads tries not to disturb the dust mote spiraling through the lamplight, because this is not a night for declarations or fireworks. It is a night for the barely audible, for the almost invisible, for the way your eyes soften when the harmony bends a little blue around a word like stay or soon. And every so often you inhale sharply, as if catching a memory in the air before it escapes through the window crack. Then exhale slower than before, returning a change gentler, and the room records all of this in its own language of creaks and sighs. The floorboard under your chair, learning the pattern of your shifting weight, the curtains memorizing the shape of your outline, so that even after the last note fades and the devices fall silent, an echo of tonight's tender noise will linger, waiting for us whenever we dare to listen closely enough. Tonight the shadows refuse to stay flat against the wall. They creep out in soft curves around your shoulders and cheekbones, stealing color from the tiny lamp on the table until they glitter faintly. Not quite light and not quite dark, like they are learning how to glow in the language of your breathing, and the rhythm underneath stays hushed and heartbeat close. A slow pulse of brush, snare, and distant kick that feels more like a memory of dancing than the real thing, while the guitar leans into mellow chords, sliding between notes with the lazy confidence of someone who knows exactly where the floor ends and the sky begins, and over all of it your laughter arrives, small and sideways. and that delicious sake of almost remembering, almost touching, as if tomorrow when you stand here alone, the walls themselves will hum with the echo of this gentle radiance we rehearse together. Shadows still practicing how to shine without giving themselves completely away.
The wet pavement in electric halos, colors bending around our ankles as we walk too slowly to call it walking, more like drifting through a late night aquarium where every passing car paints new ripples across your face, blue then pink then pale white, and the beat in my headphones leaks just enough to sync with your steps, a lazy tide of bass and brush cymbals tugging us forward and back again, never quite arriving, while the guitar riff loops like a thought you cannot shake. Delicate and persistent, spiraling under the surface of your small talk, and your voice half laughed and half swallowed skims along the top of the noise, softer than the tires on the road, softer than the buzzing signs above the shuttered storefronts, yet somehow the only sound that feels solid, as if the whole city has turned into background hum for the way you say my name. Fairly audible, like you are afraid of scaring it away. And the air around us carries a temperature that is neither cold nor warm, just aware, brushing past our wrists and collarbones with the question it refuses to phrase. And when we stop at the crosswalk, red lights soaking into our reflections, the silence stretches between the scents, slipping through the guitar's gentle picks, a thin elastic band of almost decision, until the signal changes and we dissolve back into motion, carried by soft currents we pretend not to feel. Under neon that remembers more about us than we are ready to admit.
The room forgets how to move when you lean against the doorway, one shoulder pressed to the frame, like you are pinning time in place, and the air between us grows thicker with every unsaid thought, slow as honey streaming from a spoon, refusing to fall all at once, while a gentle progression curls from the guitar, each chord hanging long enough to leave after images on the quiet, ghost outlines of harmony that linger even after the sound has slipped away, and your eyes follow those invisible shapes as if you can actually see them, mapping routes through all the versions of us that nearly existed, almost unfolded, then folded back on themselves with a sigh, and somewhere inside that sigh, the rhythm tiptoes in a lazy sway, more felt than heard, brushing lightly against your footsteps as you cross the floor, leaving soft footprints in the still air, footprints made of perfume and hesitation, and the faintest hint of last summer's laughter. And when your hand finds the back of the chair beside mine instead of my shoulder, the space where you do not touch becomes louder than the music, brighter than the lamp, a negative of warmth glowing in quiet protest. But even that absence feels tender now, because the night has learned our patterns. It understands the choreography of nearness and retreat, of leaning in just enough to rewrite the inches of memory without erasing what hurts. And so we sit there, sharing a silence that is full of tiny traces, every breath an utter possibility, suspended overhead, refusing to fall. Not yet. There is a shimmer on your shoulder, where the city light lands, broken through cheap blinds into thin silver stripes, dust floating in and out of those lines like tiny planets, shifting orbit around the curve of your neck. And the air feels slow and viscous, as if every second decided to stretch and linger, unwilling to abandon the way you breathe and softens whenever the music dips into that minor chord you love, the one that tastes like the first sip of something too strong, burning but strangely sweet, and my words blur at the edges, dissolving into a hum against your collarbone, more vibration than language, as the guitar brushes lightly over nylon strings, notes falling like powder across the floor, too soft to startle, too bright to ignore, and somewhere behind us an old fan turns lazily, slicing the humidity into gentle waves that roll over our bare arms, carrying your perfume in thin spirals that know exactly where to find my memory, where to settle and wait for the next quiet evening like this, when we pretend the past never left. Fingerprints on the furniture or shadows in the corners, and the beat, little more than a pulse under the surface, nudges our shoulders closer in miniature increments, almost imperceptible, until the distance between your hand and mine becomes an idea rather than a fact, and the idea begins to fade, replaced by the lightest possible touch, like silver dust finally choosing a place to land and stay until morning. Your voice hangs low in the room, draped over the fading light like velvet thrown across a tired chair, heavy with everything you almost confess, and then quietly fold away, syllables sliding down the wall, pooling near the baseboards where dust and sunlight used to gather in softer seasons, while the guitar sketches fragile little constellations between us, single notes trembling in the air before collapsing into silence, and the rhythm sways lazy and unhurried, a heartbeat that forgot where the downbeat should fall, because the clock has stopped mattering and the street outside has dissolved into muted silhouettes and distant tires sighing over asphalt, like someone exhaling a question they never planned to repeat. And in that loosened hour, your eyes glow low, slow burning embers behind half-lowered lashes, catching glints of things you thought you had buried, old winters, distant balconies, secret stairwells where you learned how to disappear without leaving, and each word you let slip now feels like a soft rebellion against forgetting, a refusal to let the night pass without acknowledging how close our shadows lean together, how the air thickens around the shape of your shoulders, the angle of your hands resting on your knees, and when laughter finally arrives, it is hushed and sideways, more breath than sound drifting to the ceiling and scattering like dust motes caught in the last orange ribbon of dusk, while somewhere inside that fading glow, the first fragile echo of tomorrow hides, uncertain but listening, waiting for us to decide. to open the window or close the door. Breath curls against the window, tracing foggy circles that vanish before they mean anything, like the names we never dared to say aloud, dissolving into the hush between your questions and my almost answers, where every heartbeat feels like a soft drum hidden behind velvet curtains, steady but shy, while outside the streetlight smear into slow rivers of color, pouring over the car roofs and wet asphalt, turning the ordinary night into something gently unreal. A dream barely committed to memory, and your fingers hover near my wrist, not quite touching, not quite gone, just orbiting in that fragile space where desire is lighter than air, almost weightless, but somehow impossible to live. And my voice falls into a whisper, shaped like a secret you already know, phrased as if it were nothing, as if it could float away without consequence. Yet the room leans closer, listening, breathing with us, as the guitar in the corner holds its breath too, strings humming quietly from an echo that has not happened yet, waiting for the first note to spill, for the rhythm to unfold, like slow footsteps down a dim hallway, each one softer than the last, until all that remains is the faint impression of your warmth beside